is Jenna, and today I'm going to be talking about all the movies and television shows that I watched in March of 2018. I watched 4 movies and 2 TV shows. Funnily enough, almost all the movies were like new movies, and then 2 of the TV shows were rewatches. So that's kind of cool. I'm really happy with that. I didn't watch a lot this month until kind of the end of the month because I was so swamped with uni work and it was just insane and gross and I don't really want to think about it anymore. So these are the television shows and movies that I watched in March. I'm going to start with the TV shows and then move on to the movies. So the first television show that I watched in March was a rewatch, and that was Firefly, the first and only season. Oh, I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. Firefly is one of my favorite shows of all time. I freaking love it. Ugh. I honestly love this show just so much. A space western is like the most random weird thing that I can think of, but it works so well, and that's the thing. It works so well. The characters are just so fleshed out and they are so funny and they are so real, and I love every single one of them to death. Oh, I love them all so much. The storyline as well, it's so fantastically serial, so or episodic, whichever the one is, where it's like each episode is something different. But even over just those 13 episodes, they managed to get a really vast story arc, especially with River. That story arc is just like, what is happening? And then you have other mysteries like, who is Shepherd Book? Like, how does he, you know, his ID card, how does that get him into the Alliance thing? And then of course there's the idea of Anara, like what's with her candles and like her needle and all that. So yeah, there's a lot of storylines, a lot of threads that are never gonna get answered, and I will be forever devastated that this show is cancelled because it was so good and I love it so much, and I need like a million more seasons, please, but that's never gonna happen, so. The second TV show that I watched this month was the first 3 seasons of Orphan Black, which I also gave 5 out of 5 stars to. So I have been waiting for like the longest time for Netflix to put up the 5th season of Orphan Black so that I can finally finish the show. Finally happened, so I decided to rewatch it though, and I'm so glad that I did because I had forgotten like everything, because it's such a complex show. If I had just gone in and started at season 4, because I'd never seen season 4 either, if I'd just gone in and started there, I would have been like, what is happening? So I'm really glad that I went back to the beginning. Tatiana Maslany is the most amazing actress ever. She just blows my mind every time I see her on screen as one of the clones. I'm just like, how? What? How are you so good at this? It's insane to me that she can do that she can play so many different characters. So I have been loving my rewatch of that show. The storyline is so complex but so good. I can't believe someone actually came up with that. They are a genius, and I wish I could think like that. Like, this is so clever. I am so excited to continue and finish the series for seasons 4 and 5. I cannot wait to see how it all wraps up and where it goes. I think I've got my favorite clones. I think Allison Hendricks is definitely one of my favorites, and actually Crystal, she's a new clone that we met in season 3, and I actually really love Crystal as well. She's so funny. But then I also love everyone else. Like, I love Helena and Sarah and Cosima. Not a big fan of Rachel, like she kind of sucks, but yeah, you know, so I've just got all these like I just love them, and it's such a good show, and if you haven't watched it, highly recommend that you do because it's just so good. Moving on to the movies that I saw in the month of March, the first movie that I watched was the director's cut of Avatar, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars to. Now, I have seen Avatar like a million times. I freaking love that movie, but I had never seen the director's cut before. When my friend found out, he was like, you're coming over and we're watching it? And I was like, okay, like whatever. Sure, it can't change the movie that much. Oh man, was I wrong. Okay, so there was only like 16 minutes of extra footage. That 16 minutes made all the difference in the world. It made so much difference. So many more things make sense now. You find out more about the school that Dr. Augustine is always talking about that you never really get to see, and I'm like, I love that movie to pieces. I really do. It's visually stunning. The characters are just so great, and the storyline is beautiful and really important for us to think about in this day and age. But like, I need those sequels to come out like tomorrow because I need more of this world so badly. But if you haven't got your hands on the director's cut of that film, I highly recommend it because 16 minutes does not feel like a lot, but it makes all the difference in the world. So highly recommend that one. The second movie that I watched this month is something that no one expected me to go and see, and that is The Strangers Pray at Night, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. So Strangers Pray at Night is a horror movie, and if you know me at all, you'll know that I don't do horror movies, but if you know me, you'll know that I went and saw it because Bailey Madison is in it, and I love everything that she does, and I really want to support her and what she does, so I went and saw Strangers Pray at Night. Full disclaimer, I did read the plot synopsis before I went so that I knew what was going to happen and where all the deaths were, so I knew when to turn away, that sort of thing. So that did take a little bit of the scare factor out of it. I still did jump scares and everything because they get you no matter what. I actually think though, when I went and saw it, it wasn't as scary as I expected it to be, and it wasn't what I would consider to be a horror movie. So there wasn't a lot of gore, it was a lot of psychological stuff, and then the actual gore that did happen was not overly gory. So when you did see the deaths, it wasn't like ridiculously gross or anything, it was just death. One of the things that made it really easy to watch though was the fact that the characters were making such stupid horror movie decisions, so I just got to like yell at them the entire time. And like, shout out to my friend and to everyone in the cinema who was talking during the film. Literally like the entire cinema I could just hear people giving commentary, just being like, what are you doing? That was really stupid, I cannot believe this. My friend and I actually made up names for the 3 killers better than like what they already were. So I actually really thoroughly enjoyed this film, and I feel like I actually could have seen it without reading the plot, which is saying something about a horror film. The third film that I watched in March was Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider movie, and I gave that one like a 2 out of 5 stars. This has nothing to do with like, because I know there's this huge debate about people, you know, not liking the new one because it's not the original films, and I'm not, that's not why I don't like the movie. Like that's not why I didn't like it. I do enjoy the first, like the original films, but I know they have their flaws, but that's not why I didn't like this movie. So I didn't hate the film, but I found it to be very meh. Like it was a very kind of film. So the plot it wasn't really there. Like the film couldn't decide what it wanted to do. It couldn't decide if it wanted to be an action survival film, couldn't decide if it wanted to be a tomb raiding film. It couldn't decide, so it chucked everything in there all at once, and I was like, I am so lost and confused and what is happening. It basically was just setting up for like future movies, but like in a really obvious way that I picked in like the first 2 minutes. I think when I first saw Lara on screen and like I was watching everything that was happening, I was like, okay, so this is happening, and I just picked everything that was going to happen in the film. So I hate movies that I can do that too, because then it's like you didn't put any thought into it. Like what? Character motivation was super lacking. None of the characters had like any motivation whatsoever. Lara was the only one who had motivation, but it was Lara's fault that everything happened, pretty much. It was all Lara, like, it was Lara's fault. If she'd just done what her father asked, none of it would have happened. So it's Lara's fault. I have nothing else to say to that. It just is. It's her fault, and I really struggle with that. And the bad guy as well had no motivation. Zero motivation at all. We had a couple of like, what should you call it? He had a couple of mysterious name drops, like, I'm doing this for this reason. I'm like, no, you're not. That's not the real, just stop lying to us, stop lying to yourself, just stop. One thing I will say about the film though, Alicia Vikander, holy crap, she was amazing. It was like visually, she is Lara. Like she's definitely how I would consider the new survival Lara from the new games. I picture her definitely, and she did all her own stunts as well, which when you watch the movie and you see the stunts, you're like, oh, okay, wow. So that's something that I really found good. And the stunts themselves, from a video game movie perspective, it was really good. It was a really good film, and I could definitely see it as an adaptation of the video game, which is funny because I actually never finished the video game, but I could see where it was going. So that's something that I really loved. But honestly guys, stick to the games because they are a gajillion times better than the movies. And the fourth and last movie that I watched this month was Peter Rabbit, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. Okay, this film was so cute. So I took my my nana to go and see it. It was her Christmas present for me to take her to the movies, and I waited until Peter Rabbit came out because I knew she'd love it, and she did. But it was just the cutest little film. Oh my goodness, all the rabbits were so cute, and it was so funny. There were so many jokes for like both adults and for kids. The rooster, oh, I loved the rooster. Every time the rooster came on screen, I'd like absolutely cacked it up laughing. It was so funny. So I had a really great and simple storyline, and I mean it was like a really predictable storyline, but it's a kids film and they're always really predictable, but also had a really sad storyline that I wasn't expecting. I was like, what? Whoa. And they really spelt it out as well. Well, they spelt it out in such a way that someone like me would get it. I'm not sure the real little kids would get it, but like the middle kids would probably get it. And it was really dark, and I was like, what? As if you just did that in a movie. But it was just a lot of fun, and it was a fun movie, and it was really cute, and I'm really glad that I went and saw it because I really enjoyed it. So there we go. Those are all the movies and TV shows that I watched in the month of March. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what movies and TV shows you watched. I would absolutely love to know. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.